Hi, welcome everybody. I'm Samantha Vidal of empoweredintention.com. Um, I'm excited to be here again, doing the Reiki Ball energy healing. So if anybody would like a Reiki energy ball, just post in the comments, yes, please. And I will send you a Reiki energy ball. I'm just waiting a couple minutes just to see if anybody pops on. All right. So while we're waiting, I will start with our collective energy for the planet and everyone on the planet, every living being. So just calling in our spiritual healing, guiding, protection teams to assist us today for the highest and best for all concerned, every living being, plant, animal, Mother Earth, throughout the universe, through all time and space, and so it is, and so it is done. So just connecting. We're just going to send a Reiki ball of energy for the planet, for the collective, for everyone to receive exactly what they need. That is for their highest and best. And whoever wishes not to receive it, it will go to someone who does. And whatever is the best time for them to receive it as well. Thank you, Reiki. Hi, Fatima. Glad to see you again. Would you like a Reiki energy ball? Okay. All right. It's on its way to you. Thank you, Reiki. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, the energies are pretty intense this week. I agree. With the solstice and a lot of the ways the numbers are lining up as well. And we had the full moon on Thursday here. Um, so a lot of that's shifting. And I don't know about you, but the weather we've had here has been a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of heavy rain over the last week as well. A lot of cleansing, heavy cleansing to clear a lot of that energy. Um, a lot of solar flares over the last little while as well. So if you're sensitive to any of that, even in a small way, it's going to be intensified for you, especially if you're empathic and sensitive to, or highly sensitive in general, that you will pick up those energies and they will be more intense for you. Yeah. Yeah, it's been very wet, and I'm in Canada, and it's been very wet and a lot of thunderstorms particularly this week. Um, so it does really feel like the energy is trying to clear itself right now. And yes, fasting will make your dreams more intense because you can connect. You're less, you don't have the food to keep you grounded, so things are can be much more lucid, and receive a lot more information through through psychic energy, through all the different environmental things that are coming through. You're definitely going to pick that up even more so. Um, so you may find you want to ground in different ways. Especially if you are fasting, you may want to ground in different ways to help you to manage energies. Either if you can hug a tree, just or envision your feet having roots deep into Mother Earth, just to feel that extra groundedness, or some crystals. Yeah, yeah, a lot of 4/4s. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of repetitive numbers as well. Um, and the name David. Uh, I would sit and ask yourself what who David is for you, and tune into who that may be for you. And it could be a person, it could be a place. Oh, that's cool. So then that makes sense for you, Fatima, with the 4/4, the 444 hertz and his frequency. Then that makes sense for you. Often you will find when you see the numbers and then you do go and look to see what it is, the thing that you find is usually the thing that you need. And I remember having this was several years ago, night before I was going to a retreat. I was woken up by um, a deity, uh, and I didn't know who she was, but the way she presented herself, um, I didn't feel threatened in any way, but I was woken up. I was woken up by her, and she felt it was very important to let me know. And I think it was interesting also because it was before going to helping at a women's retreat, And so that women's energy. And so the way that I didn't know who she was, but she presented herself in sort of a red, it almost looked like a kimono, but it was red attire with lots of, it almost felt like tattoos. And then when she came closer, her skin was very pale blue. And then she stuck out her tongue at me and it looked like it was tattooed. So when I did go to look up who she was, I found out it was Kali Ma. And so she was just giving me some comfort and some, she's about change, uh, death, and beginnings. And so I had a lot of change that happened. She was just letting me know that a lot of things were going to change for me, and but not to be afraid. So just knowing that, when you get the signal and you go and look up something and you feel in tune, automatically you kind of go, especially if you have that little bit of a gasp of, that feels right. Um, that's exactly who you are, you're tuning into, and just following that intuition. That's very cool for you, Fatima. I'm not familiar with him, but I will have to look him up and see um, who that is. Yeah, yeah, and not to be afraid. Like, so, like uh, Kalima has energy that's portrayed as being, can be portrayed as being scary, and when she presented to me, I was not afraid in any way. I just, it was just a very new experience for me, and this was several years ago. This was probably like September of 2015, I believe, when I had that experience. And she was just letting me know I was being supported along while I was doing a lot of shifting and changing and growth. And sometimes when we're growing, it can be a little bit scary, uh, but knowing that um, you're okay to move through that growth, and just being kind with yourself, being patient, a lot of self-care through growth those growth times that are not necessarily the easiest. Yeah, I will have to look him up. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. And different goddesses or gods or deities will present to you in ways that you need in that particular moment as well. And for me, like, I have Archangel Metatron will appear to me with darker wings, but as protection. So often he's portrayed with gold wings, but for me, often he's portrayed with large, darker wings, and he wraps himself around me when I need extra protection. So it's just that feeling, and it's just the way they present to you in that moment of time. And that's only at certain times that he presents to me that way. And then there's other times where he presents to me without those dark wings, and I'll be with the golden wings, or sometimes without wings at all. It's just a lot of times they present themselves in the way so that you understand who they are, and giving you the energy that you need in that particular moment in time. And often they also want you to do your shadow work. So, like for me with Kalima, it was to do a lot more shadow work and really dig deep and go in and really clear out a lot of things that have been sitting for a while that I hadn't taken the time to do. And she was just saying, it's time. It's time to move that old stuff you haven't touched. You need to move it. So taking the time to journal, making sure you're, again, grounded, really feeling connected with yourself and meditating more um, and doing that. And just checking in quickly to see if anybody else would like a Reiki Energy Ball healing. I see a couple people. And if you do, just post in the chat, yes, please. And I will send a Reiki Energy Ball to you. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I feel for you, Fatima, with going through your awakening. It can be pretty difficult sometimes. And part of the thing with shadow work too is because we tend to leave things to the last minute and we let things sit, that we're forced to go through it in a bigger way. Where if we get journaled more often and we kind of caught things a little bit faster, we would catch them so much faster that we wouldn't have to go through as much of the big stuff. Because sometimes it happens, we get busy and we procrastinate, and then it builds and it builds and it builds because life gets busy. So we put it aside, and then we go, something major happens, and then we go, what? And it takes you down, and you have to work through it in a bigger way. And that's when it's definitely more painful. That's often when we have like spiritual emergencies, dark nights of the soul, when we've left a lot of things too long and not dealt with them in little bits over time. So when they get really big, it feels very overwhelming for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that makes it hard. It makes it hard, Fatima. But it's good that you're understanding why things were happening for you. Yeah, it's hard if you're having to go through your awakening process too, if you have kids, um, because life still has to keep going and happening. Yeah, that's beautiful. And it's always amazing what gets presented to us for us to um, through support in ways that we sometimes never expect, like someone coming to you through dreams, um, a book being presented to you, um, someone in a grocery store happened to say exactly what you need to hear in that moment of time to help you on a path or dissuade you from a path. Yeah. I'm just going to mention before I'm going to start wrapping things up. Um, just wanted to mention that um, I do have a wisdom share today in about a half hour. Um, and it's free. It's for anybody who'd like to come in and just chit chat uh, uh, with other empaths, spiritually minded people. Um, and to register, that's just at empoweredintention.com/shop. And you go to my registration page and just sign up. And that will also put you on my email list so that under any other events that come up, um, you can be a part of or get earlier notification of things. So if that's something that you want to do, I do the wisdom shares again um, towards the end of the last Sunday or the second last Sunday, depending on how things play out. Um, so the wisdom share, and also I do or often do a Reiki share before that, and that's from 10 o'clock Eastern. But today the wisdom share is at 1 o'clock Eastern time, and that's on Zoom. So you kind of get to chit chat and share stories or share experiences, or maybe what um, the way that some of the environmental things are affecting you, or some of the things that you're going through, that people can sort of share how they're coping with something or what tools they're using. Yeah, I love that for you, Fatima. Oh, you're welcome, Fatima. And I'd love to see you sometime if you're able to join one of the wisdom shares. That would be great. I'd love to see you. I'm just doing one last check-in just to see if anybody else would like a Reiki Energy Ball before I wrap things up. I just saw one more person pop on. I just wanted to check and see. And if you would like a Reiki Energy Ball, just post in the chat, yes, please, and I will send one right to you. Okay, I will do that. Okay. And that's my booking page, empoweredintention.com/shop. And that'll take you to my booking page. And then there's another little booking page. You'll just go through and click on Wisdom Share and put your info there. And then I'll give you the link for the Zoom call. You're welcome. So I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes and see. We're almost at 12:30. So we just got about a couple more minutes. I'm just going to make sure. All right. All right. If there's no one else who wants the Reiki Energy Ball, I'm going to start wrapping up and say thank you for joining me. Thank you, Fatima, for joining me. And anyone else who is watching now or watching later. Um, and I look forward to seeing you again at next month. I'll do this again. And have a great summer. And I will see you again soon. Thanks, everybody.